Now, the race for the GOP nomination is on as candidates scour the country for votes.
Our Leonardo Feldman is in New Hampshire, where Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is speaking. But first, we head to the Hawkeye state, Iowa, where President Trump spoke earlier this morning. John Huddy has the very latest. John.
Yeah, well, Bob and Katrina, the gloves are off, right? The battle in the race to 2024 and for Iowa specifically has certainly started with both, as you mentioned, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former President Trump courting voters in the Hawkeye state. Now, Mr. Trump arrived Wednesday and has had a number of events, both yesterday and today, including speaking earlier today at the Westside Conservative Club in Urbandale, at the Machine Shed restaurant, kind of well-known restaurant there in the Des Moines suburb, tackling subjects and talking about things including the economy, China, the ongoing border crisis, fentanyl flooding into the country, and election integrity. But last night, Mr. Trump was on the Simon Conway radio show in Iowa, where he once again took some shots at Governor DeSantis, calling him disloyal by taking him on after Mr. Trump talked about his support and getting, as he said, Ron DeSanctimonious, one of the monikers for the governor, elected to the governorship. Here's in part what former President Trump said. Listen here.
Maybe one of the things that people like about me is that I do fight. You know, how would you like it if I came out and I just wimped around and told you, oh, gee, he's a wonderful person? I don't like what he did. I think it's a very terrible thing what he did. And I don't think the many people that listen to your show or the people in Iowa or the people in this country like it either. And I think that's why he's crashing in the polls. He's actually crashing.
Now, former President Trump also met with faith leaders in Iowa during his visit today, and the trip not only kicked off what is likely to be many more visits to Iowa on the road and the race to 2024, but also seemingly intensified the ongoing rivalry with Governor DeSantis, a one-time ally, now political foe, who's been relatively, Bob and Katrina, reserved about responding to Mr. Trump's attacks until now, saying he will counterpunch and fight back. Bob, Katrina?
All right, John Huddy, thank you. Let's head now to the DeSantis camp in New Hampshire, where Leonardo Feldman has the very latest. Leo.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis just spoke here in Rochester, New Hampshire. I actually spoke to voters of the Granite State. Here's what they have to say about DeSantis. Who are you rooting for?
Ron, definitely.
How come?
He's calm and level-headed, and I like the way he handled the hurricane down in Florida. All my relatives live there, and they don't want to lose him as a governor, so that says something.
What do you think of Ron DeSanctimonious, the nickname that Trump has for DeSantis?
It's a little juvenile. I think he should stop doing that. I think there's a lot better ways they should work together. I think it'd be great. Man, what a team that would make.
I like his values. He's a good governor of Florida. We know a lot of folks down there, and they think the world of him.
What's going to make you decide whether it's Trump or DeSantis?
I don't know at this point. It's too early. Way too early.
Earlier today, he also spoke in Laconia.
These elites, they don't want to enact an agenda to represent our interests. They want to enact an agenda that is imposed upon us from on high. And I think that's caused a lot of Americans to wonder, are you really going to get a fair shake? Is the American dream something that's still attainable?
DeSantis was accompanied by his wife, Casey, who also participated in the event.
We need to protect and defend the idea of America. We need to ensure that our children, our 6, 5, and 3-year-old, your children, your grandchildren have the opportunity in America to live up to their God-given potential. And we need to show the world, with this guy as the next president of the United States, that the best days in America are yet to come, and I know we're going to get it done. So God bless you.
And DeSantis has a couple of other stops here in the Granite State before heading to South Carolina tomorrow. Back to you.
All right, Leo Feldman, thank you. And here with their thoughts, Colonel in the U.S. Air Force and host of the Doug Collins podcast, former Georgia Congressman Doug Collins, plus political analyst Mark Halperin. Congressman, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts about how this is unfolding? I've yet to see the magic issue or words that unlock those people who seem committed to former President Trump to go to the DeSantis side.
Right. I think there's a couple of things at play here that I've noticed. Number one is Donald Trump has to continue to build on the support that he has, a very solid, depending on where you're at, 35, 45, depending on percent of these voters, and make sure that they stay in the camp. It's up to DeSantis to actually peel them away at the same time of attacking Trump by not turning them off. But one thing I noticed, and I just noticed it starting in the last little bit, this is the kind of campaign Donald Trump wants. Donald Trump, I think, struggled some in 2020 because he didn't have to go through that primary. He wasn't fighting all the time. Now he's back in his element. He loves this. This is where he gets, excitement and joy. He loves going with people. He loves playing on words. He loves playing on emotions. And this will be the interesting thing to see if he continues this pattern of out there, that retail politics, how Ron DeSantis and the others in the race actually respond to it. But actually, I've watched his face over the last couple of weeks in these events, and it's a different campaigner than I've seen even 3 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, Mark Halperin, your thoughts. How do you see this playing out? Is DeSantis improving as he continues on this campaign trail?
I think he's already demonstrated that he is a more formidable rival to Donald Trump than anyone who ran in 2016. Not just his own personal skills, which are not perfect, but there's a lot of strength to it, but his campaign team, the messaging, the fundraising, the political support he's gotten, the theory of the case about doing well in Iowa and New Hampshire. I agree also with what the congressman said. Donald Trump loves to be in a human pinball machine with balls coming at him from 17 different sides all at once and spinning around and firing back. So he likes this, and DeSantis is not going to have an easy time. But as I said, if you look at the people, Ted Cruz, Jeb Bush, Chris Christie, John Kasich, I think Ron DeSantis and his operation have already proven that they're more formidable than any of those folks were, and that's after just a week as a candidate.
There's another name that's been floated out there. In fact, he says, I'm talking about Chris Christie, he's expected to announce his run for president next week. So this isn't a real surprise maybe, but Roger Stone took to Twitter, and here's what he posted. We can maybe expect this, a shot at Chris Christie's weight, but we have reason to believe that this is a Photoshop photo, by the way, because of the fuzziness around the microphone and at the wide part, like in the back, Katrina.
Yeah, it looks really exaggerated.
We've talked to people that believe that was, and that may not be
accurate.
That's his head clearly, but is that his body? But and so, Doug, we expect that to come. Okay, after that's done. Is Chris Christie a real player this time? We know that over 10 years ago, there's a point where he was kind of a darling of the media. Right. That seems to have gone away.
Well, yeah, it has a little bit, but no, that's not Chris. And look, Chris will bring an interesting dynamic to this race. But here's the real interesting part, and I think Mark would agree with me on this. This is a DeSantis-Trump race. More people getting in favored for Trump at this point. But Chris Christie provides DeSantis something the others don't. Chris will go after Donald Trump. He will he will go after him in ways that Donald Trump is very used to and will play to it. But it'll take the pressure, in my mind, off of DeSantis to have to do as much attacking on Trump, because Chris Christie he's already basically said he will be the counterbalance to Trump. So in some ways, I see the number of people getting in helps Trump, but this individual candidate, Chris Christie, I've watched him for years and known him fairly well, he's going to provide a cover for DeSantis that he doesn't get from any other candidate.
Interesting point. Mark, do you agree? I mean, of course, you said that you think DeSantis is the most formidable candidate to go up against Donald Trump. But how does Chris Christie play into all of this, even maybe from a strategic way for voters?
Look, it's the rare candidate in the Republican Party, and Donald Trump was that rare candidate, who can do super well the first time they run for president. Most Republicans who've gotten nominated in the modern era have run before. This is a field with a bunch of newbies, people who haven't run before. Christie has. He's very media savvy, as the congressman said. He's made it clear he's going to be up in Trump's grill. And the press may not like him as much as they used to, but the press still likes him a lot. He's hired a bunch of people who, for Republicans, are popular with reporters. That helps, because this is a free, earned media contest, not a paid media contest, presidential politics. The only slight caveat I give to what the congressman said is Christie's made it pretty clear he's going after DeSantis, too. He wants to come back with one pike with Chris Christie, with Ron DeSantis' head, and one pike with Donald Trump's head, and say, I got them both, make me the king. Look, on paper, he shouldn't have a chance. He's not very popular with Republican voters. I give him the fourth best chance right now to be the nominee. People attack me when I say it, but he is going to be a kamikaze, and he wants to come back alive after getting 2 scalps.
And one explanation, he went with kamikaze along with Up in His Grill.
Up in His Grill, and also
and the 2 fights.
And a twist on Lord of the Flies. Mark Halperin wrapping it all in one, and that's one of the reasons we love having you. All right, Mark Halperin, Doug Collins, thank you.
Y'all take care.
Thank you.